Humans have always dreamed of taking to the skies. Today, we're meeting people who have taken that dream to the next level by mastering aerobatic flying, pushing the limits of both their aircraft and their own bodies. My name is Agnes Ryłowicz, and I'm a paragliding instructor. Welcome to the world of extreme sports, where I'll show you how to live on the edge and introduce you to enthusiasts who challenge their limits every single day. Ready for an adrenaline rush? Let's begin. It all looks like you're defying the laws of physics. Can you tell me more? What principles govern aerobatic flying? Aerobatics, especially freestyle aerobatics, is a spectacular form of flying, but it's all under control. Pilots have so much experience, whether from air shows, competitions or championships, that they are in complete command of the aircraft at every moment. Even though it might look like the laws of physics don't apply, they absolutely do. It's hard to describe aerobatics from the ground. You really have to get into a plane, strap yourself in, feel the engine's power, experience the G-forces and speed, and see the world from an upside-down perspective. Aerobatics is such a vast and beautiful sport, offering so much to discover every day. Sometimes it's the setting. A sunset flight over a glowing city, chasing each other through the skies in two planes. That makes it unforgettable. Other times it's the satisfaction of mastering something new, or flying wing to wing with a fellow pilot, trusting each other completely and knowing exactly what the other will do. And then there's the sheer joy of competition. Aerobatics is a sport after all. Maciej can tell you some more about it. Whether you're bringing home medals or simply improving, it's all about becoming better. And constantly growing as a pilot. Everyone finds their thrill in something different. Whether it's high-speed maneuvers, low-altitude flying, competing for medals in aerobatic championships, or performing at air shows. It's a truly beautiful sport that helps us better understand the world around us, as it's governed by the same principles of physics, and it motivates us to continually develop ourselves and strive to become better pilots. What does flying mean to you personally? For me, flying is, to put it simply, the fulfillment of a childhood dream. I get to do what I love and what I'm passionate about. Flying represents freedom, a chance to escape everyday worries.
Codziennych problemów, bo ja tak mam, że a z tego co wiem, większość moich kolegów również.
When I'm in the cockpit, all my problems stay on the ground. There's only the flight and the task at hand, whether it's a performance, training session or something else.
Szkolenie, czy to jest cokolwiek.
We're standing next to your plane, which you used for some incredible maneuvers today. Do you spend a lot of time at the airfield doing this kind of thing? Yes, we try to fly regularly because consistency is essential for safety, confidence and piloting comfort. To fly like this, you need to practice as often as possible. Of course, it comes at a cost. We all have commitments, but whenever the weather allows, we spend as much time here as we can. There are quite a few planes around, so we don't always fly the same one. Sometimes it's a different aircraft. Tell me about your first aerobatic flight. My first aerobatic flight was with a friend who had just bought his aerobatic plane. Before we took off, he told me, "I guarantee you'll fall in love with this." And he was right. After that first flight, I knew this was something I wanted to pursue. I trained with an excellent instructor and have been lucky to learn from other amazing mentors since. Acrobatics is a sport that requires continuous learning. Air shows are events where we showcase our skills to spectators on the ground. We demonstrate what our aircraft can do and perform aerobatic routines, either individually or in teams. Air shows include propeller planes, jets and even night performances with pyrotechnics. After sunset, we attach special rigs to the planes that emit sparks, smoke and fireworks, creating a stunning visual display. A jet like the Iskra leaves a 200-meter trail of sparks, creating an incredible effect. Air shows are a fantastic way to spend time, connect with fellow pilots, learn from each other and enjoy the camaraderie.
Podglądania tego, co kto robi, czasami oceniania, wyciągania wniosków.
Aerobatics is really about mastering spatial awareness. Knowing where to focus is half the battle. Of course, flying upside down or low to the ground carries risks, but we minimize those through meticulous preparation. I currently have Civil Aviation Authority approval to fly as low as 1 meter above the ground. But for air shows, we typically fly higher, around 10 meters. Lower altitudes make it harder for spectators further back to see. I fly for the audience, not to prove anything to anyone. I always ensure my safety margins are intact, and I believe this type of flying is incredibly safe. These planes have no power assists. Everything is controlled manually. For example, the ailerons on the wings control roll.
Ważone masowo, czyli mamy lotka służąca do tego, żeby przechylać samolot w lewo albo w prawo.
The elevator at the back controls pitch.
Do pochylania, do tego, żeby lecieć w górę.
And the rudder controls yaw.
Żeby zmieniać kierunek w poziomie.
Combining these controls lets us execute proper turns and aerobatic maneuvers. There are also auto-rotation moves, where we deliberately push the controls into positions that would be unsafe in a regular plane. But this type of aircraft thrives on such maneuvers. Aerobatics offers countless possibilities, and every pilot brings their own style. It was beyond amazing. Words can't describe it. I was a bit nervous about possibly fainting, but that never happened. I held up well, and the views were breathtaking. We even saw the Tatra Mountains. The Tatras were so clear, visibility was incredible. Seeing the Tatra Mountains felt like stepping into another dimension. I was warned about a move, so I grabbed the rail tightly. Suddenly we shot upwards, and for a moment I couldn't see anything. Then I looked up and realised we were flying upside down, with the autumn-coloured forest below us. Wow! 10 out of 10. The views and emotions were unforgettable. I highly recommend this to everyone. Agnes Rybowicz. It's going to be fast, it's going to be intense, there will be aerobatics. I tried to lift my hand, but it was impossible. The G-forces were so strong that at one point I couldn't even lift my eyelids. It was an incredible sensation of pressure. I think we did pretty well, didn't we? Very well. We experienced 5G positive and 0G negative. That means we felt both weightlessness and a 5G force. So your hand, your head and your entire body weighed 5 times what they do on the ground. I tried to lift my hand and honestly, at one point it was impossible. I couldn't move it. Was that during the turns? The horizontal loops we were doing, spinning around, first one way and then the other? Yes, exactly. How was it? Could you see everything clearly, or did you experience any blackouts? There were moments when everything was going black, but I fought through it. I focused on regulating my breathing. It wasn't easy. For the first time in my life, I truly felt my lungs working. So yes, it was intense, but to be honest, during those turns, I had no idea what position we were in.
w jakiej pozycji aktualnie się znajdujemy.
We were flying in formation with the Iskra leading
Jakby liderem była Iskra, czyli my byliśmy z przodu.
and two extras flanking us on our wings, trying to stay in position.
Starały się utrzymać.
It's a challenge because what's nearly the maximum speed for the extras is the minimum speed for the Iskra. Essentially, we were flying at the edge of stalling. At any moment, the plane could have stopped responding or slipped out of control. Thankfully, that didn't happen. We also tested whether at these critical speeds for the Iskra and maximum speeds for the extras, we could still perform additional maneuvers. One such maneuver involved Maciek flipping his extra onto its back while I brought the Iskra underneath him. The challenge here is that the extra uses a piston engine with a very responsive propeller. It accelerates quickly and decelerates just as fast. Meanwhile, the Iskra's jet engine has a slower acceleration. But once it builds speed, it's very hard to slow down.
Ale jak na przykład się już ten samolot rozpędzi, to bardzo trudno go wyhamować, więc to jest taka
So it became a balancing act of managing power and speed, but everything went smoothly. It was fantastic teamwork. It was our first time attempting it, and actually my first time flying today. I'd never done it before. I'm glad you're telling me this only now. That flight was extraordinary. I saw the extras on both sides, then above and below. It was incredible. And I saw them doing those spins. What are they called? When the plane rotates around its wings, it's called a loop. When it spins around its fuselage, that's a roll. So what exactly did we do today? Towards the end, we were just having fun. Wasn't that exciting? It was intense, definitely intense. At the end, I finally got the plane to speeds it's built for, up to 600 kilometers per hour.
On lubi latać. Mieliśmy prędkość dochodzącą do 600 km na godzinę.
The manoeuvres we performed closer to the ground started at about 500 kilometers per hour. Higher up, we were at roughly 300.
Mniej więcej prędkość.
What we did was start with high speeds, begin a half loop, transition into a roll, and align the plane to fly along the runway.
Obracaliśmy ten samolot tak, żeby lecieć wzdłuż pasa.
We approached the runway at an angle, rolled along it, flew away, and then came back for another pass.
Powrotem jeszcze raz na drugą.
It was an incredible experience. Truly, for the first time, I felt just how heavy a human body can be. It was even hard to keep my eyes open. Massive respect for your skills. This was such an amazing adventure. I'm so glad to hear that. This is why we love flying with passengers. It's a way to share the magic of aviation. You can't fully describe what it feels like to fly a plane, especially one like this. Sure, someone who's flown on a commercial plane might understand the acceleration during takeoff or landing. But when you add aerobatics and high speeds, sharp 90-degree turns, rolls, loops and other maneuvers,
Na przykład wchodzimy w zakręty. Te zakręty są po 90 stopni. Te 90 stopni zamieniamy na jakieś beczki, na jakieś pętle, na jakieś inne figury. To tego
only those who felt it in their own bodies can truly understand. Kuba, tell me about this helmet. This helmet is all about safety.
To jest tak naprawdę nasze bezpieczeństwo.
It protects our heads in case the canopy
Na
detaches,
przykład nasza owiewka postanowiła jednak odmaszerować.
or if we hit a bird.
Uderzył w ten samolot ptak.
These things do happen. In aviation, especially at a certain level, everything has been tested, experienced and carefully thought out.
Doświadczone, sprawdzone, przemyślane.
How do you feel when you haven't flown in a while? Someone once said, once you've touched the sky, you'll never want to walk the earth again.
Będziesz chciał chodzić po ziemi.
And it's true.
I tak jest.
I try to fly regularly.
Staram się latać regularnie. To
It's my key to staying safe.
bezpieczeństwa, ponieważ
Since we perform
latamy
aerobatics and participate in air shows,
profesjonalnie, czyli latamy na pokazach lotniczych, latamy akrobacyjnie, w związku z czym
continuous training is my safety
moją
net.
polisą bezpieczeństwa.
But when the
Natomiast,
weather or other obligations keep me grounded,
pogoda nie pozwala, albo inne obowiązki nie pozwalają,
it only takes a few days before I'm itching to get back in the air.
ciągniesz to powietrze, żeby czymkolwiek polecieć, to naprawdę
There are pilots and there are aviators. I hope to count myself among the aviators.
i
Those who want to fly everything, to experience the freedom of the skies, seeing the world from above, a sunrise, a sunset, or even a storm.
zachód, czasami burze,
It all
wszystko
becomes
to,
part of who we
składa
are.
się na nasze DNA.
Watching aerobatics, it feels like the laws of physics are being broken before your very eyes, but that's just an illusion. Are aerobatic flights extreme?
Ekstremalne?
Absolutely.
Zdecydowanie tak.